Then you have this other crazy case, right? Okay. You got this other crazy case out of, I forgot which state it is, and I got to bring up this story here. You had a house party taking place, and you had 63 people, right, who were arrested, and because less than an ounce of marijuana was found in the house. Nobody claimed it as theirs. So the police said, well, it was in the reach. It was in the reach of everybody. So they arrested all these people. Now, if most of these people had been white, I guarantee you this would not have happened. So yes, there was some underage drinking going on. Yes, there were some weapons found. Okay, address the people who had the weapons. Arrest the people who had the weapons. ThinkProgress.org has an article about this. Police arrested 63 people at a house party after finding less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Some of the attendees spent several days in jail. They could have lost their jobs possibly. January 2nd, 2018, thinkprogress.org. Police in Cartersville, Georgia, okay, Cartersville, Georgia, in the South, right? One of the former Confederate states, responded to a call of apparent gunshots on Saturday night, but what they found was a house with nearly 100 people celebrating someone's 21st birthday. When police arrived at the scene, something led them to believe there were drugs on the property. They reportedly entered the house without the permission of the partygoers, and after less than 1 ounce of marijuana was discovered by officers, 63 attendees were arrested and sent to jail because no one claimed the drugs as theirs. In interviews given to Atlanta's Channel 2 Action News, some of the attendees claimed they were tied up with zip ties and threatened with tasers. Some of the men claimed they were locked up in cages. According to the partygoers, it was fireworks, not gunshots, that were likely heard by the individual who called the police. That reminds me of the Algiers motel killing massacre that took place, started July 26th during 1967 during the rebellion. We'll continue this on the other side of the break. You listen to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the Future Radio. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the voice of Detroit. Hey, I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. I want to remind you, coming up Saturday, January 13th, Sunday, January 14th, at the new Nandy's Knowledge Cafe, located at 71 Oakman Avenue in Highland Park, right off of Hamilton. I will be doing 2 presentations. Saturday, January 13th, is the distortion of the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The revolutionary will not be televised on the television. Okay, that's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Free event, donations accepted. Come on out. We know that's Dr. King weekend. Dr. King days is Monday, January 15th. Then the next day, Sunday, January 14th, my presentation will be African American Resistance in the Era of Donald Trump. Voter suppression, reparations, and how elections have consequences. This is 2.0. African American Resistance in the Era of Donald Trump, Voter Suppression, Reparations, and How Elections Have Consequences. You don't want to miss that. We'll have the information at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Those presentations are available on DVD right now also. You can order them as well. And all of my lectures are available there at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. If you want me to do a presentation for your group or organization, maybe it's Monday for Dr. King Day, maybe it's for African American History Month. I have a lot of information about the origins of African American History Month, Black History Month, things like this. Email me at info, I-N-F-O, at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Info, I-N-F-O, at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We can set it up, or call me 313-462-0003. 313-462-0003. Okay, so right before the break, we were talking about this case out of Cartersville, Georgia, where 63 people were arrested by police at a house party after finding less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Some of the attendees spent several days in jail. This article is from January 2nd, 2018, from thinkprogress.org. Thinkprogress.org, and a lot of news outlets carry this story. According to jail records, the 63 individuals who were arrested Saturday night were processed by Monday night. All were charged with a single count of marijuana possession. Okay, the police arrested them because no one confessed to the marijuana being theirs, number one. Number two, they said the marijuana was within reach or accessible to all the people. Now, if all these people had been white, I guarantee they would not have been arrested. Less than 1 ounce of marijuana. The individuals arrested were predominantly African-American males aged 19 to 25. Channel 2 there in Georgia reports some have lost their jobs as a result of spending multiple days in jail. Really? See, this is why marijuana should be legal in the first place. I've never used marijuana in my life, never smoked it, never ingested it. I'm not an advocate for recreational usage of marijuana, but it should be legalized, period, to decriminalize it. Okay? In Athens, Georgia, a city with a similar racial makeup as Cartersville, Georgia, African-American individuals were found to be 4.7 times more likely to be charged with a marijuana violation than white individuals. The same discrepancy exists on the national level. But we know that studies have shown that the usage rate of marijuana among whites and African Americans is basically identical. According to a 2013 American Civil Liberties Union report titled "The War on Marijuana in Black and White," an African American is 3.73 times more likely, or almost 4 times more likely, to be arrested for marijuana possession than someone white, even though both groups use marijuana at similar rates. I wonder why. This pattern continues even in states where marijuana is legal. This pattern continues even in states where marijuana is legal. Between 2008 and 2014, marijuana arrests decreased by 60% in the state of Colorado and 90% in the state of Washington, both states that have legalized marijuana usage. A study conducted by the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice, a study conducted by the Center of Juvenile and Criminal Justice. Let me go back to this. Just flipped around here. Just a second here. Let's get this. Okay, here we go. A study conducted by the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice's Mike Males, M-A-L-E-S, however, concluded that African Americans in 2008 and 2014 were twice as likely to be arrested for marijuana in both states. African Americans in 2008 and 2014 are twice as likely to be arrested for marijuana in the state of Colorado and the state of Washington as well. Okay, so check out this article. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Michael, line 1. Hey, Michael, welcome to the African History Network show. Happy New Year. Tell us where you're calling from.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yes.
Actually, I'm technically calling from California, but I'm from Detroit. So.
Okay, that's cool.
And very, very important topic. I was just reading on the book about this. That you went over a few different points, but I just wanted to kind of focus on the weed and the marijuana thing.
Go ahead.
I think we're on the wrong. We're advocating on the wrong side of it. And I understand, and I agree with you that it should be legal, technically, but we have to understand, like, this thing here, we have to make it clear to people that this is a legitimizing factor to cover and mask a war against us. I mean, it is a literal war with, tactics. They're putting us in jail. They're enslaving us. They will have no reason to come into our communities if they didn't have drugs there. There will be no reason for the police to be called to this house party and be able to walk into that home if drugs were not illegal. So, and this provides so much money for them in prison population. The new Jim Crow would be impossible without legalized marijuana. So when we say we want to make it legal, in their mind, they had to figure out a way, okay, how are we still going to get them in jail? So the thing is, the point is, we're focusing on the drug itself, but it's just a mask. We need to actually kind of highlight the fact that these people hate you. They're looking for ways to legitimately take your freedom, use your slave labor, and just keep you in a servile position. And just one last point,
okay.
I will ask everybody to direct their research to Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon in 1973. They funded the West Center in California. They set up, basically, bottom line is, they did all the research on what type of drug would be best suited to use to subdue the rioting, because we had the riot in 1967. We had between 1959 and 1971, I think it was over 1,000 riots in the cities in the United States. They had to fix that. So this was the focus back then. So this is the point of drugs. They're not going to take those drugs away, because that is to them their protection against us.
Okay.
So that's my comment.
All right, thanks for calling. Okay, so once again, check out that article from thinkprogress.org. Police arrested 63 people at a house party after finding less than 1 ounce of marijuana.